your face, but you wouldn't even looking for it.
Yo, what's happening, good people? Yet another episode of Gold Mine Monday. I'm your host, Billy Slum, and today is it's a surprise episode. My man didn't even know he was in the mix with me today. So that's how we do it here, man. We like to talk to gold mines. It's like I say, it's not just based on my area. It's based abroad. Anybody who I'm connected with that's chopping up game and giving you some real life stuff. We want to talk to you, man. This guy here, stamped in Macon, Georgia, by way of Yonkers, New York. Entrepreneur, extraordinaire, man.
Thank you,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You've been putting down for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. I present the others and introduce the song, Mr. Raw Rome, man.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming through.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with my segment is gonna be the golden nugget of the day. So I had posted that a couple days ago, and it's been put kind of heavy on my brain to do this. So my golden nugget of the day is follow your dreams. Whoever you are, whatever it is that you aspire to do. My golden nugget of the day is to follow your dreams. That's it. And I'm on that list. Follow your dream. And right next to me is a gentleman who has been following his dreams and making it happen. You know what I mean? So, Raw Rome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Talk about it. Talk about, first of all, people know you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
People know you're an author.
Yes.
But your roots is in the music game.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Talk about Raw Rome, man. Yonkers, New York. Talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I started off in music a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Introduction when I was about, say 9 years old.
Okay.
Because my cousin, my cousins, they was part of that first group of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And they was involved with electric boogie, breaking, and my other cousin was involved in just hip hop.
Yeah.
So I was a young dude, the young dude carrying the record crates to the party, sneakers into the parties, and also over their house, just watching how they cook up the stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started with hip hop. Then I evolved as I got older and eventually became Raw Rome.
So who gave you the name Raw Rome? If somebody put a raw in their name.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
okay, Raw Rome. I'm one of the architects. One of the architects of Yonkers hip hop. When I say architects, I don't mean top 5 that are alive. I'm one of the ones that set the foundation.
Set the foundation for it.
Yes, yeah. I raised the bar, set the premise, and at that time I didn't know what I was doing, So I started off at 9 years old. Then I evolved middle school, then high school. I got the name Raw Rome from my man Marshall D. In high school when I was going to the next level. He said I deserved a name that fit my description.
Raw Rome.
Yeah, I was known for they hold me in high esteem in Yonkers and in the Westchester area. Like I'm double, triple platinum in the street. And the artist, I'm humble when Hall of Fame artists, established artists mention me as influencing their career.
Yeah.
Because most people, you never heard of me. And when most people talk about who influenced their career, they talk about another established person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But every time these individuals talk about what inspired them and helped them cook up what they cook up, they mention my name. And they mention it, my name is mentioned with Run DMC, just all the greats. I just sit back and be like, wow, they mention, so that's a real humble thing.
So to me, just hearing the things that we discussed, some off camera or whatever, about Yonkers, New York in particular. New York hip hop is the mecca, right? Just New York hip hop in general, but Yonkers in particular felt like kind of like the stepchild. You know what I mean? So I akin that to making Georgia like where we have a different type of struggle, a different type of mentality and mindset. You know,
that's why I connected when I moved down here. That's why I connected so well.
For sure.
Because they was getting the same level of disrespect that Yonkers been getting for a long time. See, most people just hear of Yonkers when they hear of Mary Blige, X, and the Locks.
Mhm.
But we've been around, like in my book, Yonkers, the Lost City of Hip Hop.
Mhm.
We've been around hip hop since the very foundation.
Mhm.
They used to come up to Yonkers and use our venues because the Bronx didn't have too many venues like that. So they come up to the suburbs or to the county.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Where we got things a little spread out, and they use our recreation centers. And we have the artifacts, the flyers, and it's undeniable. And then the groups, so many groups always come to town in Yonkers back then, and even to this day,
Mhm.
they come to Yonkers just to politic.
But even the names you mentioned, are all greats. So
Yeah.
it's something in that Yonkers water.
Oh, but here's my point. We was. Thank you for bringing that back.
Yeah.
We was there since the foundation,
Mhm.
but you didn't hear of us until then because of the politics in the industry. Not because we wasn't around.
Yeah.
It was special campaigns to keep individuals from my town not up. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why when you hear
educate me.
that's why when you hear
Everything,
X
bro.
come out, he was so angry and mad. You think he was angry and mad, but that was just years of us just bubbling. Years of us just bubbling.
Yeah.
And we was there since the foundation. We were suppressed for all these years,
Mhm.
but we still was developing, our sound. So
Right.
these individuals was coming out with their stuff, but you didn't hear nothing from us. Not because we wasn't trying, because it was a closed network, so to say.
Some kind of a gatekeeping type of situation.
Yeah, it was politic and gatekeeper type of thing.
Okay.
But there was, you get the Bronx narrative, but there was many chambers that was developing hip hop. Let's see it as from a scientific point of view, like a cross pollination.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It reemerged in the Bronx because hip hop took from the other genres prior to that. But that's another story. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
It reemerged in the Bronx, and then you had individuals coming from all over the city, like Queens. You understand? So Queens, they had a powerful cell in which Salt and Pepper and Big Daddy Kane, Marley Marl, all the dudes came from that Queens bloodline. You understand? Then you had Brooklyn. You understand? They had a bloodline. You understand what I mean? But all you hear is the Bronx, Bronx, Bronx. So that's what my book was establishing. Like, you hear the Bronx because of maybe marketing and political things, but you have other things going on.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much. But that goes on and on and on.
For sure, man. Wow. This is hip hop history, y'all.
Yeah.
And this is just on the fly. So this is the type of conversation that I want to have, man. It's all organic.
When I say Raw Rome,
Mhm.
what makes it special because it was conscious. I used to drop science.
Mhm.
You understand? I used a two-edged sword. My words was powerful. So they knew me from growing up in the projects. But the transformation of my mind and the way I put it in the lyrics,
Mhm.
it was just fine craftsmanship, and it was conscious lyrics.
So let me ask you this.
And I was from the hood, so
Yeah. So
it was authentic.
all of it,
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: are those recordings on? Can we find them online anywhere?
They got them now. That's why I said flushed it out. When Kiss said what he said, I'm gonna get a copy of that.
Okay.
I couldn't be in the closet no more. Like he flushed me out.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that? You understand? Explain that to me. You understand? Because people just don't do that.
So for people who may not be familiar, what exactly was said?
When Kiss was on an interview,
Okay, we talking about.
I'll give you a copy if you want to edit it into the show as well.
Okay.
When Kiss was talking about how I influenced his career,
Mhm.
and I was very instrumental in his career.
Mhm.
So that right there.
You're talking about Jadakiss.
Yeah, Jadakiss.
Okay.
So when he said that, that makes people think, why would Kiss say something like that? It's no joke. It was no marketing scheme. Explain that to me. So what I did is, when somebody says something like that, a Jadakiss mentioned you inspired him, and he built off your foundation. I took a humble approach. Instead of me saying, Y'all heard what Kiss said about me. I'm the Raw Rome. I'm the dude. Y'all hear Styles, what they saying? I'm the OG. Yo, I got my mixtape coming out next month. No, I didn't take that route. What I did is what I always do. I did the knowledge to it first. If Kiss say I inspired him and the influence he has throughout the world, I'm gonna put together a manuscript of what created my formula, and people could get more from that. You understand what I mean? So I took that route, and I came up with the book, The Making of a Scribe, The Memoirs of Raw Rome. And in that particular book, and it's broken down in 3 degrees, uh, The Making of a Scribe, The Memoirs of Raw Rome, it talks about me first getting involved in hip hop. And that's going back to me being a little kid playing with my mother's vinyl records. Okay, what happened when I was playing with my mother's vinyl records? I was dealing with a advanced science called semiotics without knowing it. You say, what is semiotics? Okay, my mother had the vinyl records. I'm taking these records like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I'm looking at them, but I'm projecting myself in that environment. I'm a child, so I'm looking at the Earth, Wind, and Fire album, and I'm projecting myself in that environment. Then pretty soon, I started creating stories in that environment. You understand? Seeing myself in that environment. So years later, I found out I was dealing with the science of semiotics. That semiotics is the science of how images affect the brain on the subconscious and the conscious level, and it moves on to that, like the power of symbols. So when I was young, I was playing with my mother vinyl records, and the semiotics stimulate me, and that right there helped take me throughout my life because I was dealing with brain exercises, I was dealing with imagination, I was dealing with symbols and how it affect my brain. You know, that was one science. I talk about that growing up. Then I also talk about in the book. So I'm telling my story about hip hop. I'm teaching my formula at the same time, but then I'm giving an entertainment to keep people attention at the same time. So I'm talking about growing up in my projects, watching the young girls in the projects jumping rope, jumping rope. That affected my subconscious mind too. Why you say that? Because watching my homegirls jump rope in the projects, I learned rhythm. I learned the science of rhythm. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm with you now.
yeah, so it was like it's like a lot of moving parts that was developing me. So I learned rhythm watching them jump rope.
You answered my question for me because
Yeah.
I always say, what was the exact moment you fell in love with what I call this thing about her?
Yeah, it was an evolving process, and I was walking through the projects, learning things, not just learning things in art. I was learning things in mental and spirituality that I didn't know I was learning. You know what I mean? One of my friends gave me a word for that. I can't remember it, but I'll get back to that. But so I learned rhythm. You know, I learned harmony. I learned to harmonize, like we harmonizing right now. The importance of harmony, not just harmony in music, because when you learn the principle of harmony, you bring those principles to life. You got what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So
and life imitates art.
Yeah. So I'm using that book as a teaching tool because music been used as a teaching tool since time immemorial. All advanced cultures use music, not just in weddings, ceremonies, war, good times, bad times, healing, so I'm using music, the number one teaching tool, as we did in ancient times. That's all. So that's what that book is about. Teaching my formula in which I think the world will get more out of it
Then you dropping music.
than me dropping music. Say, yo, y'all heard what Kiss said? I'm the OG of this. I'm the OG of this. Yeah. But that's the point. Like, you got to get to a point where everybody's not going to make it. But that's another book that I'm dealing with. Everybody's not going to make it. And if you're blessed with some type of talent, you got to know how to reinvent yourself and evolve to another level. And that ties it back in where, okay, I started off with hip hop. Then after hip hop, I phased into business, only stayed underground. I never did anything professionally. Well, I was on Styles P album, Gangsta and Gentleman, but I never produced no albums myself professionally.
Yeah.
You understand? So the thing is,
kind of just glazed over that. This man said he was on Styles album.
yeah,
Gangsta and a Gentleman, and our producer, Boy, shout out Boy. He said that's one of his favorite rappers, man. So you just kind of glossed over that and just, oh, come on, man. Educate these folk, man. Don't just drop a breadcrumb. Educate them on that.
Okay, so when you
what's
say
the song? What did you?
I'm on a barbershop skit.
Okay.
Gangsta and the Gentleman.
Okay.
As soon as you hear it, you'll hear my voice.
Yeah, you got a very distinctive voice
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So we were supposed to do some music, but then it wound up turning. So I'm just happy to just make the cut on that.
Shout out Styles P.
But yeah, Styles P. When you talk about Styles P, just like y'all guys, like you, Wolf, and all those guys, y'all grew up together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just relationships over the years. That's all it is with me and the Locks and those type of guys. We all grew up together.
Yeah.
They had a love for my music, but it wasn't just music, a respect for what I
Who you
done and what I did in the community.
For
You understand what I mean? To
Yeah.
make them have that love. So yeah, I was on a Gangsta and the Gentleman, on a barbershop skit. When I talk about Styles P, I'm happy to see him evolve to where he's at.
1,000%.
Because when he was younger, he had challenges.
Yeah.
And it's just good to see people just make it through their challenges and become successful.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm talking about?
That says a lot about them too, to be at that level that they're at, and for them to reach back and say, "Hey, Ron, come do this."
Yeah.
Because you know how I get.
Hold on, let me get back on something real quick. When you talk about like when we on Styles P, when you talk about the juice bar, those are conversations we had 20, 30 years ago. See, a lot of our knowledge, hip hop always had a knowledge element to it.
Yeah.
So you may look at some artists and say, they doing it now at this stage of their career, but those guys come from good backgrounds.
Yeah.
They could be in the street or whatever, but their foundation was solid. Their foundation was solid.
Yeah.
It's like you will know your people. I know their people.
Yeah.
Like their foundation is
some
solid.
wild guys.
Yeah, but their foundation is solid. You understand? And so when you see them like with the juice bar, like those are mentalities that have been around a long time. But just now, they just manifesting. But we used to do I used to work with the Yonkers NAACP and Styles P. I used to work with Styles P doing World AIDS Day, and that was before I moved down here. You got what I'm saying to you? So we was doing things, or rappers was doing things in the community. Well, they was doing things in the community that wasn't public, but it always was that element in the community lifting it up. A sense of responsibility.
It says a lot about them guys and their character, man. So again, salute to them guys. I know you kind of jumped into being a whole author, so you chose the route of becoming an author. You have many books that are available now, and people can search them online and all that, right?
Yeah, I became an author when I said to myself, what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
Because Kirsten told me, man, we got this. Thanks for your work. Thanks for your work, blah, 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 blah. But we're going to hold this down. We hold you like this. Yeah. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, and then I had that rapper mind no more. You got to keep I respect you because that's what I respect about you being in the game, real spit. I'm going to get back to my point is that you kept your hand on the pulse. With that music, you got to keep your hand on the pulse. You understand what I mean? Like you got to keep your hand on the post and you won't miss a leap. You got what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So back to the subject is I was like, what am I gonna do next? I love this music. I love this. Oh, I had the ability to write. So it took me a while. Then about 2007, I came up with the first copy, Yonkers, a Lost City of Hip Hop. I wanted to write about something I knew about, And then I was like, okay, I had the ability to write, such as yourself. How else can I make it? What else can I do with my writing, my mentality? And then I just started writing books. I started ghostwriting for individuals. I started project developing, and then I started writing movie scripts and getting into the movies, and learning, writing books and writing scripts on two different sciences.
Definitely.
Different disciplines. Writing scripts.
Yeah.
Writing scripts and writing theater are two different sciences. Different disciplines. You know, they're different disciplines. I mean, people can mix them up and just do whatever and think they're gonna come out with a project. But people that know the sciences, they're gonna look at it and just know, where it's at. Where it could be or how it could be developed on another level. You know?
All right, so let's jump to our next segment. I like to call it the gumbo pot.
Okay.
A lot of people ask, who your top 5 or who your top 10 or whatever favorite rappers or whoever. But for me, I always ask what's your gumbo pot, because for me, I am a gumbo pot and my influences come from a lot of different genres that kind of develop who I am as an artist, my sound. So I'm gonna put that question back on you, brother. What's your gumbo pot, man? What if you pick apart the ingredients to a raw Rome gumbo, what we gonna find?
What I listen to depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Me, I come from that type of hip hop from the curve.
Mhm.
Like I like craftsmanship. I like hard beats and bars. I like wordplay.
Yeah.
So the only place I get that consistently is with smack. So I listen to a lot of battle raps. Yeah.
Okay.
To stay on top of the game and just to make me go, ooh, I love the way this game evolves. I'm into the battle rap.
So you're on a totally different frequency.
Yeah, that's the type of music I grew up on. It's that type of rap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you commercialize it and everything to make songs, but when it comes down to it, that's what
I come from.
That hard stuff.
That's where I come from. But admittedly, I haven't been keeping up with the battle rap culture.
No.
But that's where I come from.
Yeah, I listen to battle rap. I have no particular one because I like a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because they all got different schemes and energy and delivery.
Yeah.
I like them because their craftsmanship and the metaphors, and they keep that bar. Let people know, that's what that hip hop is. So
I respect your mind, man.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I done been through every chamber of this musical experience, man. My raw beginnings was me battling other cats in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's how I started.
Yeah. You see what I mean?
And, again, shout out to Boy, hey, man, you need to let people know you can rap. So it just kind of went from there.
Yeah. So the song mentality and what you do is different than that battle mentality. You understand?
But I had to learn, because when I started out, I still got my old notebook, bro.
Okay.
I might have a 64 bar verse. I didn't know I ain't know nothing about structure, no song. It's just rap.
Yes.
And just go for your head.
Yes.
I got pages and pages. I had to learn, teach myself how to do something.
But that's the point. That's the point what we saying when you said what made me write a book. I have a love for music. I still do the music, form of poetry. I still, be involved in the music to that capacity. But I was like, what can I do as an artist to keep developing? So that's when I went into the books. That's when I went into the film. That's when I went into the project development. Just evolving and development. And that's the thing. Everybody is not going to make it mainstream future, so to say. You understand what I mean? But you still could be successful.
That's right.
In the game. You understand what I mean? And the thing is, you have to be mindful enough to know how to evolve, how to reinvent yourself, and how to turn nothing into something. And have a business plan. A lot of people just be winging it and thinking they're just gonna go off for talent. And just the talent. But they have no business plan. You understand what I mean?
For sure.
So, that's a
we get another masterclass now. We have my brother Trail. His episode dropping soon. It's like, these are organic conversations. I didn't give you no prep questions. We just said we're just gonna talk off the cuff, and you didn't know. You just come to be in the audience.
Yeah. And let me say something for the record. I've been living in Macon 20 years. From my hometown, I worked with the NAACP. I did a lot of social political things in town. I'm known for building. I'm known for evolving. Then when I moved down here, it's pretty much the same vibe. Identify a need, and use things to build a community, right? What I do is foreign to some individuals. I'm bringing that up because I want to throw it out there. You know, there's individuals that make fun of me because I write and read books. I just want your audience to think about that. You know, there's individuals that make fun because I write and read books. I know everything in the book. I know that. That's not the point. But you got grown men that that make mockery of individuals that write books. And I throw that out there. The reason I throw that out there is because as men, you know, you have a social responsibility, you know, to at least take care of your family and build your community. And I leave it at that on a fundamental level. Just like that. You know, the problems is not from the outside, the problem's from the inside. Okay? I say that to the kids. Don't look at the problems are in front of you. The problems are the men in front of you. You understand? That's what it is.
Again, my man dropping the science.
The books, getting back into the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely getting back into the movies because I put that down for a minute. I had to pivot another way, but I got a full feature that's going to drop. It's real dope. We got some powerful people in it. It's socially conscious, and it fits the narrative for going on in this country right now. So I'm looking forward to that, and pushing my mental health and wellness business that we have. You go to my YouTube page, subscribe to my YouTube page, Viva Kinetic Live. On that particular page, you know, you have meditation beats, binary beats, you know, beats you can study from. And it's going to be a motivational, inspirational channel, mental health. So that's Viva Kinetic Live. That's my YouTube channel. And pretty much just, I'm about to crank it up real heavy, you know, for with the films and the books. And, you know, gotta act like I have no tomorrow.
There you have it, y'all. Raw Rome, solid individual, man. Macon, Georgia, by way of Yonkers, New York. You dig?
Can I say one more thing?
For sure.
In my books, I write reality quotes. I don't care about your formalities or personality quotes. That's all I want.
Raw Rome. Raw Rome. Go my miners. Billy Sloan, Raw Rome, my brother.
Thanks for having me, my brother.
Yes, sir.
My man.
My man, he said, I got bars, nigga. Still.
Got a gold mine right in your face, but you wouldn't even look. You wouldn't even look in